All right, so welcome everyone. This is our mobility and flexibility class. We are on week, I believe, 6 now. Yeah, I think we're on week 6, so out of 10 weeks. So we're about halfway there. So this class will just kind of start stretching, just moving our muscles, our joints, just moving our bodies pretty much just to, get that little rust out. And if you guys have any requests on any muscles that we want to spend a little bit more time, just let me know, and we'll go from there. But we'll start on the chair, then transition to the floor or standing exercises, and then yeah, the floor. Just finish off there. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start off with our jaw. Hopefully we didn't use those too much with like burgers and chips yesterday. So let's open our mouth as wide as we can. Let's look up. Let's shut our jaw by bringing our chin up towards our nose. We should feel a nice long stretch going on. So again, let's open wide, close, feel that lengthening. Let's stretch. Let's do about 3 more. I'm so glad today is this class and not interval training. I let loose yesterday and I just ate all kinds of things. All right, let's go ahead and now we're gonna go and just puff up our cheeks. Well, actually, let's palpate our face a little bit. So let's go from the end of our ears, bottom of our ears, just down, just softly touching along your jawline. Yeah, I got super sunburned yesterday. I was wearing my swimming trunks and the tank top. They had the sprinklers on for the kids, and yeah, it was. I didn't realize how bad I burned until I got inside at nighttime. Let's go and now palpate from our earlobes to the end of our lips. Don't forget this weekend, meeting up, Mossberg Park. And then from the end of our eyes to the end of our lips, just gently touch softly, come down. Very good. Awesome. Let's go ahead and then just puff up our cheeks with air and just move that air left to right to the upper lip and lower lip as well. Lose that air and just kind of restart. Relax before that gets a little too sore. Okay, so just relax. Next, we're gonna go ahead and inhale through your nose, out through your lips, a little windpipe. So again, we're trying to get all the air out, so our core's gonna get pretty tight on this one. So inhale, more. Okay, good. All right, now we're gonna start with our next stretches. Just gently looking left to right. Left, let's stretch lightly. Let's go up and down, all the way up. Next circles. So just gently and slowly bring that head. And switch it. Switch directions. Good. Let's go ahead and then just do our turtle head. So that's when we bring our head forward. Back. Funny looking movement. If someone just happens to walk in on you doing this, you're confused with what you're doing, but again, we're trying to move our joints in every way that they're meant to be. Right. Awesome. Let's go ahead and sit on our left hand. Right hand comes over, right elbow drops, that left shoulder stays fixed. Yesterday we were playing just a bunch of, I invited several of my friends and we had water balloons for the kids and surprisingly there's a lot of water balloons left. So let's switch. We played this silly game of where we would have the tub of water balloons near us. We would get in a circle and we would spin a bottle, and whoever the bottle landed on um, was able to grab a water balloon and launch it at one of us who weren't running away. So if the bottle didn't point at you, you're supposed to take off running and avoid getting hit. And yeah, so you know, a lot of people ended up getting really wet yesterday. So we would and a lot of people ended up dodging some, but We had so many that yeah, we ended up walking away pretty wet after that game yesterday, but it was pretty fun. I've seen people on social media play that game, but they play with eggs and I think water balloons. Yeah, water balloons is a lot better than launching eggs at someone. So, but anyway, so we just finished with our neck here. So let's reach up towards the ceiling. So yeah, so some of the neighbors joined in and it was fun and yeah, but we realized how quickly that most of us are out of shape after about like 5 little sprints. That's so we were just like, okay. And then one of my friends pulled something, I think his hamstring. They're like, okay, like we can't play this all day like some of the kids would. Celine, right? Right. I had my mom made pupusas, my wife made ceviche, and you know, friends brought cookies and chips and cakes, and so I had it all. And this morning I went for a run to try to burn a little bit of it off, but relax. Very good. All right, we're gonna just relax our arms a little bit. So we're gonna do some shoulder circles. So just kind of bring your shoulders down, up and forward. Let's go reverse. All right, let's bring our shoulders up to our ears and then drop them. So just drop those shoulders down and then up, forward, drop. Very good. All right, let's continue with our shoulder work. So elbow in and then just rotate. Sure that arm, that forearm comes out as far as you can. You should feel bicep side of your arm working. Good. Tuck in that arm. Right, now we're gonna do kind of like snow angels, but just here. So just going out. So morning, Melena, Green. So I don't know if you guys have been in the class lately, but this Saturday we'll be meeting for a walk at Mount Square Park. There's a Starbucks off Edinger and Brookhurst. So if you're free, Saturday at 8 a.m., love for you to join.
I was like, oh, how nice, Miles Square Park. And they're like 8 a.m. and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Just trying to avoid interfering into people's days and trying not to sweat too much with the heat. So, but yeah, if you're able to make it, yeah, we're fine. So, I think it's long overdue. Let's bring that arm up.
That's really nice. If I happen to like wake up real early, then I will come. But I
Okay.
probably will not wake up that early.
Oh,
But if
we're
I do, I will come. I will come if I
yeah,
wake up in time. Thank you. That's really cool.
yeah. If let us, you could always leave your email if you have notifications on your phone or your cell phone number, and all of us could text you at 7 a.m. Want to wake you up. That's,
Oh, how generous of you.
you don't want to miss it. It's funny. I was just telling one of my assistant coaches, or some of my athletes actually. I have so now we're practicing for cross country, and I have some students that are just have a hard time or refuse or whatever for whatever reasons, but they miss a lot of practices during the summer. And so yeah, so let's just rest that. Let's work on the form right now. I still want to continue with the upper back and shoulders, but just rest them because stretches could get a little tired. So just allow that forearm or that wrist to pass your knee a little bit, then just push down. You're gonna feel that forearm stretching. Um, but yeah, so I have these two or three athletes in particular that miss often, and one of them messaged me or calls me on Sunday, and he tells me, "Hey, coach, do you have a second to talk?" And I think first thing out of high school, I joined one of those like cut coat companies or like Herbalife where there's like a script and you follow up with something. But my thing was like with vitamin supplements. So, anyways, so he calls me and I could tell he's reading from a script and I'm just going along with it and I'm telling he's like, hey, like have you ever considered no, he was like, I'm trying to get certified with Switch, but I need to have interviews and presentations. So I was wondering if I could do a presentation on insurance for you. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, Joey. Like, as long as you come to practice, like, yeah, like I'm all for it. And so, yeah, yeah, coach, like for sure, I'll be there. And then he's like, yeah, I have my coach here. I guess his insurance coach with them. And so I have my coach here with me, and so it'll be both of us. So, if we could do it tomorrow, I'm like, I can't do it tomorrow, but I could do it maybe on Wednesday. He's like, okay, does Wednesday at 12 work, which is today at 12? And I'm like, yeah, like I don't have anything scheduled. And he's like, okay, so let's do it Wednesday at 12. It's gonna be about 30 to 40 minutes of your time. And he's just talking in a manner that he never talks. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a script. So let's go ahead, elbows up and separate. So yeah, so I tell my wife, I'm like, yeah, one of my students wants to have a meeting regarding um, life insurance. And I'm like part-time here at this college, part-time at another college, and personal training. So I don't have like all these benefits. And so my wife tells me, she's like, oh, just so you know, you have life insurance for me, you have healthcare for me, this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, well, good to know. And let's go now. Let's go ahead and do our punch out. So we're gonna cross.
Hey, Julio, we might be getting insurance like the same as the full timers. Did you read about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
But we don't know yet, so it's not a sure thing. But if we do, their insurance is spectacular, and then you would be able to provide it for your wife instead of the other way around.
Be nice. Um, so, yeah, so pretty much. Give me a sec. I'm gonna meet you for my next person, Echo. There you go. Thank you. So yeah, so yes, continue that. Yeah. But yeah, I tell him, let's go ahead now and do our hand stretches. So now bring each finger to the center of your hand. Keep the fingers straight. Try not to bend at the knuckles. So yeah, so he doesn't show up on Monday for practice, and so immediately as practice is over, I text him like, hey, just want to let you know that I might forget about the interview on Wednesday. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, coach, my alarm didn't turn on and blah blah blah. I've heard that excuse a million times from him. And let's close, make a fist and open it. And so yeah, so anyways, we had to meet yesterday because of 4th of July. And this morning he wasn't there. So and we're supposed to have our meeting at 12 today. So I think I'm gonna go take a nap at 11:59. So he learns his lesson because he misses so often and didn't check in today. So I'm really hoping he messages me in the next couple of hours before this. But yeah, we'll see. Let's open our hands now, our fingers, and let's open up those little tendons. So yeah, so I mean, I'll meet with him at a different time, but yeah, I mean, some of these kids, they're 18, 19, 20-year olds that, like they won't miss a work shift. They won't show up a minute late, but when it comes to practice, sometimes they show up 20 minutes late. They don't show up at all. They don't communicate. And I'm just, let's do each finger one at a time. And yeah, it's just, and then there's some students that are very disciplined and are there before I am sometimes. And then yeah, there's just some that don't, there's no sense of urgency, and it's don't respect the practice time. So okay, I'm gonna give you a little taste of your medicine. So we'll see. But yeah, but I'm glad I have life insurance. Yeah.
That sounds to me like kids with problems, personal problems or family problems. Normally,
Yeah, I mean, it could be a combination. It's just
not
terrible
that
at
I
managing.
mean,
Yeah, like time management might be rough, or it
working
could
too
be,
hard.
yeah, and sometimes that's what it is it's they commit themselves to too many things. And sometimes I have students that sign up for sports and have 18 units of academics and a full-time job. And but those kids usually also communicate, the ones that are very hardworking and disciplined. And then let's separate those fingers. But yeah, but then you have some kids that always got away with being late or whatever, or don't have that discipline. And yeah, it's, and when you're recruiting student athletes, because sometimes our supervisors might be up to like, oh well, you recruited them, you should know what type of students they are. I'm like, I've met these kids a few times. I'm pretty much being a salesperson for the program. Let's go ahead and do our hip openers. And I'm also trying to recruit them to come to the school as a student. But no one's gonna tell me as I'm recruiting them, oh, by the way, coach, I sleep in a lot. Or, like I might miss a lot of practices. Like no one ever says that. So, but we start seeing that maybe after like the first few weeks of practice or the first month. Like I got my first batch of freshmen, first college year students last week. And out of like my 8 freshmen, I already like pointed out 2 of them that, long term are gonna, I might have to come to practice with an extra Tylenol or 2, because of, just little headaches here and there. But let's switch. But yeah, but most of them mean well, and they want to try out the sport, so I'll give them a chance. But it's after a semester or 2 of that, and if they don't get it together, then yeah, unfortunately, I gotta give their spot up to someone else who might want it more. Leg straight, open, about 90 degrees here. Yeah, but all of my students always ask, oh, when's camp? When are you going to Mammoth? And, they don't want to do performance stretch. And sometimes, there's some students that just want the kind of the perks of being on a team. So I gotta start looking at what breakfast spots are by that Starbucks. I don't know if Starbucks is gonna be enough for me for breakfast and Julian. So yeah, I'll bring Julian too on Saturday. So
There are plenty of restaurants. There is a Denny's, there's a Brodar, that is Vietnamese, and there is another one, I don't remember the name, but I heard from some of my friends that those are really good restaurants.
Yeah.
And to get into the heavy food.
yeah, I know. My buddy just built one of those temporary pools that are elevated off the ground with all the tubing. And yeah, he's like, hey, come over on Saturday in the afternoon to hang out. I'm like, oh man, like I feel like I had enough fun yesterday with the friends. I don't know if I could do another Saturday. So might just when I hang out with Julian. I want to take him back to the park with next to LAX with the airplanes. Push down. I'd love to do that again. So
Yesterday, the park was filled with people, tons of people.
to a Mile Square Park.
The Mile Square.
Okay, yeah. I was in Costa Mesa on Monday night for a fireworks show, and that was cool. It started at 9:30, but yeah, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, wow, that's nice. It was really cool.
Switch. Yeah, so yesterday, had a few people over, and my sister-in-law's pregnant. Two of my good friends' wives are pregnant too, so just chatting, and I think they're kind of comparing each other's experiences, or they're what they're cautious about, what they eat, and this and that. But I think for I could tell that there's some tension because I think one of them wanted to be like the superior like mom, and
Yeah,
so
awesome.
so I heard like, oh, I eat this and that, and I work out at this. And one of them was like, oh, I don't pay attention to any of that. My body's strong and this and that. And I'm just like looking at my wife because we're not pregnant, so we're looking at each other. And I remember her experience, and there's some things I'm like, oh, that sounds good, but other things are just like you should be careful, like eating raw meat or like like
Meat.
sushi or stuff like that. But yeah, my friend's wife was like, yeah, she just kind of had her own opinions about a lot of things, but it's okay. I'm sure she's not doing it. Yeah, it was cool just having, or knowing that there's going to be three little ones coming by the end of the year. And my other friend who couldn't make it, his wife is due today. So yeah, Julian's going to have a lot of friends, I'm finding out, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, like 2 years ago, felt like it was the years of weddings, like just weddings left and right. Then now it's just babies left and right. It's fun. Awesome. That'd be fine. We're gonna do our leg extension.
I remember that. You kept on going to weddings.
Yeah, yeah. I think when we first started, yeah, it was just wedding here, wedding there, and then now it's just got a few baby showers coming up, and so I want to go camping more often though. That's the one thing I told. I think I enjoyed yesterday. Yesterday just almost felt like a camping day at home. Like friends were over, everyone was on the same page, trying to like have fun and eat whatever. And I feel like that's always our experience at camp. Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna start planning more camping trips. So if you guys have any campsites, let's do some like classes. Are we going camping in exactly a month from today? Will be let's bitch. Go ahead, and then now we're just slightly gonna move our lower leg, so from our knee to our ankle, just left to right, just gently. It's not this big movement, just gently. Because once you start swinging too much, then you start moving your femur, and we really don't want to focus on that. We just want to focus on the tibia. Switch. Yeah, so a lot of not a lot of people, but my cousin didn't show yesterday, so my mom made extra pupusas for them. So now we have extra pupusas, and I have to make sure that I control myself because I had too many of those yesterday, and definitely, I had a couple of my clients message me today. They're like, "Hey, I'll start reporting my numbers and my workouts again. I just took a little break during 4th of July." And I'm like, "That's okay. So did I." And then, yeah, and I walk out to the kitchen and I'm like, "Oh, dang, there's so much food left over, so much delicious food, like some of my favorite foods. Let's see if you'll raise this." Um, yeah, so that'll be a lot of temptation with food today. Uh, Toe raises.
Can you freeze them?
Yeah, they just it just kind of loses a little bit of like its texture. But yeah, and I think she has some raw still that she could just kind of throw over in like the pan, like and cook them like a tortilla. Um, but yeah, they won't last long, I can tell you that. We're gonna go. Like I don't even know I'm telling you folks this, but yeah, I'm gonna eat them right after this class for sure. It's for ABCs. So,
We made like 100 empanadas,
oh,
and I got sent home with like 35 of them.
okay, so you could bring those on Saturday.
Again, they won't last.
Yeah, yeah. There's a I don't know if you've ever been. I'm sure there's many, but there's when I used to live in Downey, there's a Argentinian empanada spot off the 105 freeway and the 605 freeway. And yeah, I would anytime I was heading over to like a family gathering, that's where I would stop by and I would bring those over to them. Because I like Portos, but Portos it always gets pretty, you know, you kind of know like what you're gonna get, which is great. But I'm like, I gotta switch it up from Portos and the line. I don't like waiting on that long line sometimes. So yeah, so I would go there and yeah, I would always get like 2 dozens of the empanadas and bring those over. Yeah, it's great.
I'm lucky because there's like a empanada place across the street from my house practically, which
Gosh,
is so random, but it's called Patagonia Empanadas. It's
uh,
in Orange. It's really good.
oh, nice.
You've got great pastries. Their bakery is amazing. They don't have as much as Porto's, but the quality is excellent.
Let's grab a golf ball or a tennis ball. We're gonna roll out our arches. Yeah, Patagonia. Yeah, what city is that in?
That is the city of Orange. It's right on Tustin and close to Lincoln, really close to McDonald's over there on Tustin.
I've been to one. I think when I was getting hired on, at Santa Ana. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. No, 4 years ago. I had to do paperwork and I was back and forth. And the last spot where I ended up for fingerprints was right next to an empanada place, right there close to campus. And yeah, I think I could be there. And yeah, nice little shop. They had a bunch of snacks and foods that I wasn't familiar with, but yeah, it's good stuff. They're
Like
so
over
cheap.
close to Baker, is it the one like right off of Baker and like Bristol or something like that? Or Fairview?
It's like on the northeast corner of the Santa Ana campus.
Oh, I don't think I've ever been there. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago. So yeah, I think that's where it was. It's like a little shopping center. But yeah, my favorite, I think, what was just right there? Like the ham and cheese, I would always get those. Um, there one with pineapple, or maybe I'm just confusing pizza now. But, I think, yeah, ham and cheese was definitely one that we got often. I want those now. Yeah, and ever since I moved from that Downey location a few years ago, I haven't really gone back to them, so I don't get close to that area. Now just gonna have our feet planted and we're gonna claw the floor. Just claw goes towards your heel. Alrighty. Okay, let's get on our feet. Let's do our shoulders. So if you could grab a pole, a long foam roller, those items should work. Just gonna check the chat. Okay, very cute. See. Yeah, so again, we will be meeting. Oh, then we gotta have the monthly meeting on Mondays. Think about those things. Alright, so let's go ahead and just go left. Thirty degrees forward, that left arm. $60. 90, right in front of you. Reverse. Switch, right arm comes up. $30. 60. 90. 对，好的。Let's go up and down, and back. And away, you can grab the yoga mats. Take a 2-minute break while we set up. Yoga mat, then we'll start the floor exercise. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on our horse. Quadruped exercise. 4. Cat cow first, so inhale up. About 3 more of each. Go ahead and prepare. We're just gonna keep our hands in the spot and we're gonna crawl forward. Then drop your elbows. Bring them to the arm. And then drop. That should be moving. That original spot. Let's bring that arm under. So my left arm comes under the right arm. And resting on your left shoulder. Right shoulder. Alright, we're back. Original spot. Back out. Arch up. Glutes towards your heel. And then you can reach forward with your hands. Up the elbows and your hands. Shift your hands off the mat. So off to the right side. Arch up. Down. Side. Okay. Get on your side. Front foot openers. On your back. And then knee on knee. Ankle on ankle. Hip all over. You get 10 of these. All the way back. Make sure. on each side. But then your tongue is just fine. And stretch just opposite, working on your back now. So I'm gonna remain on the floor. For this one, we're gonna do a hip opener, but from a laying position. So you're gonna drive your knees up towards your chest. Once it's there, I want you to push it out towards your side. And you're just gonna hold it. Might not drop all the way unless you're super flexible. It's kind of elevating, it's kind of floating, but it's being held by my hand right below the knee. On the other side. And up again, leg extension. Okay. Open up the hamstring a little bit more. Flat as opposed to reclining on our chair. So that knee doesn't really move, it's just the lower leg moving. Here. But in a sit-up position, okay, we're gonna do our knee drops. So we just, if you're in a sit-up position, we're just gonna drop our knees. Right? Back stays in the floor. have your heels elevated, it's doing a little bit more rotation. Or you can just be, like the sit up. Up your hip. Your back, a little to the floor. All right, now that we warmed up with the easier variation, let's go and do our more advanced knee drops. So just elevate here. Heels are elevated, and then try. Should get a little bit more rotation this time around. Okay. And your last few lower body stretches just here on the floor. Some of our pull down stretches that we typically do. So extend it, left heel in, right leg back, move forward. Heel in, left leg back, forward. Let's go ahead and bring our right leg over our left. Switch. Stand up, left heel in, right leg out. Just bring your hind arm over your head towards the leg, forcing your chest down.
Julio, it's hard to see you because of the angle of the camera.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forget that my camera sometimes it shows me what my camera shows me from here, but then when it's on Zoom, it only shows like 70% of it. Which, like, yeah, yeah. Again, thing that I farm. Both goes in. Bring your knees down if possible. As much as you can. Lean forward. Relax. Put your first up to hand. Back to the back. Now we're gonna lean back slightly. Flat. Oh, we can actually do performance stretch. Up, that position. As towards that knee. Good. Relax. And ladies, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more loose and ready to go, start off your day. But yeah, tomorrow will be go on.
Tomorrow is the day.
Tomorrow is the sweaty day. Yes. Heart rate is through the roof tomorrow. So make sure we have a hearty workout for that. And then
I
also,
promise I didn't eat too much yesterday.
I can't promise you that because yeah, I'm about to go eat some more right now actually. But yeah, so tomorrow will be a little bit on the, heart rate will be up, and then Friday should be more still strengthening, but a little bit more leveled. And then Saturday we'll get our walk in and yeah, just chat. So, all right. Well, you guys enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. So,
I mean,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Bye.
all right, folks, take care.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
Sarah.